Buddy, can you guys hear me? Let me know if you can hear me in the chat, please. Hello? Can you guys hear me? Oh, maybe nobody here. Guys, come on in. We'll get started in a couple of minutes, I guess. Let me know in the chat if you can hear me. Sound check, sound check. Sound check, sound check, sound check. Hello? Anybody here? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Hello, testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. Hi, hi, hi. Can you hear me okay? I'm good, I'm good. Let me know if you can hear me, please. Trying to do a sound check. Okay, good, good, good. How you guys been? I know it's been a while. I've been busy. Okay, great, good, 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 good. Glad to know it. You guys doing okay? Stretcho, good to see you again. Harmony One. Yeah, Harmony's doing okay, all things considered. Okay, see you in a bit. We'll try to wait for a few stragglers to come in. Come on, let's do a roll check. Who else here? Captain's here. Stretcho's here. Harmony One's here. Who else is here? I know I got some of my loyal listeners out there. Where are you? Listeners, watchers. All your H bar to Harmony. Oh, that's a hard one. I don't know. Uh, I don't know. That's a good question. H bar to Harmony. Where's H bar at today? Yeah, H bar is struggling, huh? Yeah, looks like it's struggling even more than Harmony One. I don't know. It depends on where you got in. If you got in at a good price on H bar, it might not be a bad idea. Can we reach 14 cents before end of week? Ugh. End of next week or end of this week? That's a good end of this week. I don't think so. Twitter needs to ban Elon Musk. If you're holding H bar and you bought it at 2 cents, mm, might not be a bad idea. Might not be a bad idea to get into one then. Um, but before you do that, just stick around for a little bit of the live stream. I'm gonna go over something with you guys that if you're holding one, you can probably make some good money, at least for a little while. So we'll go over that as soon as we get a few more people in. Wait for Sorecho to get back because I know he'll want to hear this. I got some interesting things to share with you guys in this live stream. Yeah, it's the first substrate because it's usually when it happens is when he tweets. I mean, I thought the SEC had kind of reined him in a little bit, but I guess not. We'll see what happens. Somebody needs to do something about this guy, though. I don't know. But anyway, we'll go ahead and get started. We'll talk a little bit about Harmony One. Then I've got some other things I want to tell you guys. Harmony, of course, you guys know where it's at. It's at about 9.8 cents now. It was starting to look up for a couple of days. Got up to what, almost 12 yesterday. Starting to have a little progress, but then, of course, Elon or something else, or maybe it was just Wells selling and buying back in. I don't know how many of you guys have watched my tax video I just uploaded a few days ago, but I really suspect that there's a lot of, tax credit buying and selling going on, and what they call wash sales. So if you haven't watched that video yet, I suggest you do it. It's the A to Z guide on crypto taxes. And in that video, there's a section and there's a timestamp for wash sales and tax loss harvesting. And if you watch that, even if you just watch that part of the video, that'll give you a good idea of what may be happening in the market right now. Yeah, H bar was not doing bad. It was doing pretty good actually, but it's like everything else. It took a big hit. But as far as uh, Harmony One, they've been busy. Um, they've been real busy, and we're going to get into some. They've been. Let's see. Let me go back to their Twitter page. They just released the May 2021 update on the medium.com on their harmony1.medium.com site. Oh, they're looking for me, looking for captains. Okay, I didn't know that. I'll have to call them, I guess. But they're opening a new NFT marketplace, One World. They're doing a few things, and I don't know if you guys seen this yet. A new ecosystem map. It's pretty cool, and as you can see, they released one last month. Somebody did. I don't know if it was one of the validators or it was the actual Harmony team, and it wasn't nearly this big. So as you can see, Harmony is growing really, really fast. It's growing fast, the ecosystem. And but what I wanted to tell you guys about, yeah, there's not a lot of good news. You know, Biden is still trying to push his capital gains tax increase in, you know, into people's lives, and but now there's rumors that he wants to make it retroactive, so it'll go back. You know, I don't know how many years, but he wants to try to get all the money from everybody, I guess. But Harmony's doing what it does. You know, it's actually not too bad. You know, and Bitcoin has held up a little bit better than I thought it would. I was kind of expecting it to drop down to, you know, 28K, 30K, but it's been kind of resilient and it's kind of fighting back, even though with all the FUD. Yeah, all you got to do is hodl. But I wanted to tell you guys about, I don't know how much you guys follow dexes on Harmony One. You know, there's Viper Swap was the first one, and then they have Mochi Swap and Open Swap. But there's a new DEX on Harmony One mainnet, and it's one of the things I wanted to talk to you guys about, and it's called LootSwap. And it looks okay. Of course, it's like any other DEX. There are always some risk involved, you know. So after I tell you guys about it, if you want to get in and do something on OpenSwap, just make sure you only play with money that you can afford to lose, because just like anything else, is risk. And of course, this is not financial advice. So, but tonight I wanted to tell you guys about LootSwap, and I'm going to go ahead now. If you haven't watched my video on how to connect your Harmony account to MetaMask, you should definitely do that. It's on my channel. But I'm going to just open this now. I've already connected, of course. Then I just have to enter my password. I'm going to show you guys something. Now, if you look here, the APR. Right now it's only 41,000%. Yesterday it was above 50,000%, and a couple days ago it was above 70,000%. It's just insane the kind of returns people are getting right now. Let me open Viper Swap. I'll show you. Now, in contrast, the one Viper pool on Viper Swap is only offering 685% right now. Now, to their credit, when they first got started, their return was much, much higher. And this 41,000% is not going to last long. In fact, in a couple of days, it'll probably go down a lot. But for right now, if you get in, you can still earn some crazy returns. And I'm going to show you how to do that in a little bit. If this thing will ever refresh. There it goes. Now, if you look here, you'll see it says I have 9 loot. And loot is the native governance token for LootSwap. Now, before we get into really how LootSwap works, I wanted to let you know about a little bit about the guy behind LootSwap. Nobody knows his name, which is the same case with a lot of, you know, dexes on, or almost all of them. Everybody knows handles, but nobody knows the actual names. of the people who are running these dexes, and that's okay. You know, crypto is all about, to some degree, anonymity, and that's fine. But they do have a Twitter page, LootSwap, and the guy behind LootSwap also has been posting on Medium. So they do have a medium.com section for LootSwap Finance. Now, right now, we're still in week 1 of the launch. LootSwap just launched just 3 or 4 days ago. So right now we're still in week 1. So you can get what they call a times 256 multiplier, and I'll explain that in a minute, but that is just insane. It means that loot tokens are being minted and distributed like crazy. Right now, they're releasing like 7,680 loot tokens per minute. Now, there is a lockup period, and we'll discuss that too. But let's get the guy behind it. He also has a website called Forever Hobbyist at foreverhobbyist.com. Now, he hasn't been posting about LootSwap on his little blog site, but he also has a YouTube channel. And this is the guy. Like I said, I don't know his name, but this is him. And he has a YouTube channel too. It looks like, I'm going to refresh. See how many? He only has 42 subscribers. I'm going to go ahead and subscribe so I can keep up with this guy. Now, like I said, I don't know his name, but he seems like an okay guy. And but of course, in crypto, that doesn't mean anything, of course. But that's him. This is him. And like I said, they've also got a Telegram group that's really active. The people in there are just insane, the amount of messages going through this Telegram group. I think there's like about over 1,000 people in the Telegram group now. So it's quite active. And the devs, this guy, Forever Hobbyist, and then there's another guy, Loot Master. There's a couple of members on the team that are active in the Telegram, so that's good. But as far as LootSwap itself, now there are some pre-mint tokens, but that's normal for DEXs. But let's go ahead and take a look at them. Now, I got into LootSwap. What time is it now? It's like 3 a.m. in my time. I got in LootSwap about 4 p.m. Thursday. So I'm almost 36 hours in. And I invested about 8,001, which is a pretty small percentage of my Harmony One bag. And I just happen to have that amount in this Harmony One web wallet for this particular browser. So that's why I invested that. So that's about what, $800, I guess? At 10 cents per Harmony One token. Now, this is how insane the returns are right now. And like I said, it can be risky, but we'll talk about that too. Until now, now in my locked balance, I have 954.62 loot tokens. And each loot token is worth 76 cents a piece. Now, yesterday, they were worth about $1.50. But that's pretty standard for DEXs. They go up and down. They're kind of volatile in the beginning stages, and that's okay. Anyway, you don't have access to these lock tokens anyway. But I do have some pending lock rewards of about 188 thereabout. So what is that? About 1,100 something already. And if I dig out the calculator, so let's just use these 954 that I have already claimed. 0.76 cents. $725 in 36 hours. $800 investment, which I can still take out. I can still take out my initial investment or close to it. There's probably some impermanent loss, or I'm sure there is. So I may have lost a little bit on my actual Harmony investment. And you do have to buy 1 tokens with your Harmony. but we'll get into that in a second. But as far as the actual, if this thing doesn't rug or it doesn't die or whatever, then there's some really good money to be made right now. And I do mean right now, because like I said, week one will end in a couple of days, and then things start to go downhill from there as far as the huge APR rates and the emission schedules. In week two, right now it's the times 256 multiplier, and I'll explain that in just a second. Week two will be 128, week three, 64, week four, 32. And then if we look at the LootSwap page down here at the bottom, you'll see the base emission rate is currently 256 loot per block. Now, it mints, or it completes multiple blocks per minute. That's why there's 7,680 loot are minted every minute. And the emission schedule is 256 loot per block. Now, out of those 256, you can see there are different pools here. You have 1 ETH 1. So you don't have to actually get into the riskier loot 1 pool. You can get into the little more stable, like BSC BNB or BSC BUSD or WRAP BTC or Ether, Ethereum. You can get in those pools as well, but the returns are not nearly as high. And the allocation percentage is not very high. So you won't be, but you still will be paid in loot tokens. 95% of those loot tokens that you earn are locked until December 25th of this year, which is the same thing ViperSwap does. 200,000. If you got 200,000, you'll make a killing. I've only invested like 8,000 in this one. I don't recommend investing anything close to 200,000 Harmony One. That's just, I don't know. I mean, that's a lot of money. That's big money. I mean, maybe if 20,000, you could make some sweet returns on that. You know, even 10,000 was a lot. You know, I'm almost, if the price stabilizes some, which, you know, honestly, you know, it's at what now? What's the price now again? 76 cents per loot. I don't think it'll be there when it comes time to, you know, when the tokens unlock in Christmas. But, you know, it might, because they do have a kind of interesting unlock schedule. After December 25th, they will start dripping out the tokens, the loot tokens, very slowly. In fact, they will only be released at the rate of 0.27% per day for 365 days, starting on December 25th. So if you multiply 365 times 0.27%, that gives you 100%. So it will take you a year to withdraw all your loot tokens. And now I know that sounds, you know, kind of, I don't know, kind of weird, I guess, but actually it's good for the token. It'll keep people from, you know, just dumping everything. So the price should remain fairly stable. But I don't really expect it to stay at 76 cents. Like I said, it was like $1.50. It was high as $1.80 when it first started blowing up. But now it's down to 76 cents. It did go down to 50 cents. So it is making quite a recovery, because there were a couple of whales got in and dumped. But I don't think you'll see a lot of that, because there are some pretty hefty penalties for dumping early or cashing out early. So if you know, get in and jump right out in the same block, there's a 25% slashing fee, and that kind of prevents what they call flash loans, where people will jump in, you know, get a certain, probably one of the major tokens like the BSC BUSD, and do something with it real fast, and then get back in, get their harmony out, and then bolt, right? So that's a no-no. 8% if you withdraw in the first hour, 4% if you withdraw in 1 day, 2% 3 days, 1% 5 days. And then of course you stay in 2 weeks or longer, the withdrawal fees are very, very low. And if you stay in 4 weeks, it's almost nothing. So, but if you do want to get into this, I recommend letting your one work for you at least 5 days. So your fee will only be 1% when you withdraw. But like I said, the returns are pretty sweet. I deposited roughly 8,001 Harmony One tokens. And if this price does remain fairly stable, I've already earned that $800 back. Now, granted, I won't be able to get access to most of it until Christmas or starting at Christmas. But you do get access to 5% of the loot rewards right away. Now, I have been reinvested because I've claimed, if you look here at my recent transactions for this site, I've claimed and reinvested and converted back to one, because I essentially used all my one to get in this particular wallet to get in this. And then I started buying back one with my, rewards. And I'm going to do that now. I'm going to claim some rewards so you guys can see how that works. And then I'm going to go through the process of actually converting my one to loot again and then deposit them as liquidity tokens so you guys can see how this works. Now, of course, if you do want to get into this, you'll need two things. You'll need the Harmony One web wallet and you'll need MetaMask. Now, I do have, like I said, I do have a video on how to set up the web wallet with Harmony One and connect it to MetaMask. So if you haven't watched that video or if you don't know how to do it, I recommend you watch that before getting into this. Now, once you have the Harmony One web wallet and MetaMask, and you have some Harmony One in your Harmony One web wallet connected to MetaMask, just go to the website, and I'm going to show you again what it looks like. I'm just going to lock my wallet. And when I lock my wallet, this is what it'll look like if you haven't connected anything. Then when you connect the wallet, click on MetaMask, and then you'll be, if you have not already signed in to MetaMask, you'll have to sign in, and then you'll have to approve the connection and confirm it and all that stuff. But once you do that, you should see your MetaMask Harmony One balance show up here. Now I'm going to go ahead and claim these loot rewards. Like you see, I have locked 193 locked and 10 that are not locked. So I'm going to go ahead and claim all, claim this loot. Then I'll have to confirm it in MetaMask. It'll take a few seconds for this to update. It'll say pending. It'll confirm. Now I have 10 loot. Well, I need to let it update on the site here. Let me just refresh this. Okay, now I have balance of 10.2 loot. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to swap those loots for Harmony One. So I'm going to from loot, go to swap. Then I'm going to swap them back to Harmony One. So I'm going to click max here. And for 10.18 loot, I'll get 79 Harmony One. So I'm going to swap. Confirm swap. Confirm in MetaMask. Transaction submitted. And again, it'll be pending for a couple of seconds. Now, once this finishes, I can show you actually how to, because this process I'm about to do is the same as when you first go there and want to start investing or getting into loot. So now I have 272 So what I'm going to do now, now I'm going to pretend like this is the first time I've come to this site, and I'm only want to invest 270. You always want to make sure you leave a little bit of one in your wallet for transaction fees. But if you leave like one or two, Harmony one, that's more than enough. So now I have 272. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add to my liquidity investment on LootSwap. But for all intents and purposes, you can pretend like this is my first time here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to swap here, and then I'm going to go from Harmony 1 to loot. And then you can do that. Okay. But I'm already there. Now, I know I have 272. Now, you need to, when you invest in these kind of liquidity pools, it has to be a 50-50 split. So you don't want to invest all your one into the swap. You want to invest about half of that. So in this case, I've got 272. So I'm going to do 135, and that'll leave me like 2.71 Harmony 1 tokens for my fees, which is plenty. So now I'm going to swap those 135 to loot tokens, confirm the swap, confirm it in MetaMask. Then if this is your first time, you'll be prompted to add loot to MetaMask, which I'll go ahead and do. And then you can I've already got it added to mine, so I don't need to do anything. So I'm just going to cancel. Now, it'll be pending and it's confirmed. And now you see I have less one. I have 135 fewer one tokens, but now I have 17 to loot. Now I want to go to Quest. Now, if you're familiar with ViperSwap, quests are the same as staking in ViperSwap or staking pools. They call them quests because LootSwap is a gamification token. And if you want to find out more about they're going to be getting into crypto games and things like that, which I could care less about. I'm just here for the yield farming. So if we go to Quest, and as you can see, I've already got some. You know, I've already got some in my Loot 1 pool. But I'm going to go to Manage. And if I go to Deposit, you can see I don't have any LP tokens. So I need to get LP tokens with my one and my loot token. So I'm going to go to Pool, and I'm going to go Add Liquidity. Now I could use Manage since I've already added liquidity before. But if this is your first time here, you'll want to click on the Add Liquidity button right here. So I'm going to go ahead and click that, and it's going to prompt me to add liquidity. Now here, I've got 137.7121 tokens. Now, again, I'm just going to put in 135, and then I'm going to go to my loot. And it'll tell me I have insufficient, but if I just click the max button, it'll balance it out for me. But I need to make sure I click the max button on loot and not one. So then after everything's balanced out, and that's going to leave me about 3 Harmony 1 tokens, and that's plenty, so I'm happy with that. But that balances out the 50-50 ratio between Harmony 1 and loot. So then I'm just going to click on supply. And then I'm going to confirm. Now this I will receive 47.0988 loot pool tokens. So then I'm just going to click confirm supply. Then I'm going to confirm it in MetaMask. And then again, if this is your first time, you'll want to make sure you click this Add Loot LP to MetaMask. Because if you don't, well, you can do it later, but still, better to do it right away. So I'm going to click close, and then I'm just going to get out of this and go back to Quest. Now, once I have the pool tokens, I need to actually deposit them into the pool. At this point, I can deposit them into, you know, or auto loot or just hold them. But I want to actually deposit them in this Loot 1 pool so I can earn these crazy 41,000% APR yields. So I'm going to go to manage, then I'm going to go to deposit. And it says available to deposit 47.0985. So I'm just going to click max. And if this is your first time here, you'll have to click approve. But since I've already done that, I can just click deposit. And then it'll say depositing liquidity. And you see here it's 1230, but this will go up by about 47 in a minute. Confirm it in MetaMask. Deposited 47.09 loot. Close. Then I'm just going to go back to Quest, go back to manage. It is still pending. Go to Quest, manage. It looks like I have an error. Ooh, failure. That's not good. It should recover in a little bit though. That's the first time I've had that happen, so I don't know what's going on there. The website seems to be kind of slow. I don't know if it's their connection or mine, but I think it's theirs because mine seems to be pretty good in the stream. So we'll see what's going on here. Okay, and there they are. Your total tokens are still 1278. Guys, bear with me. I'll figure this out in a second. Okay, I just basically need to redo the transaction again. And hopefully this time it'll go through. But I didn't lose anything, so that's good. Confirm. Transaction submitted. And hopefully this time it'll confirm. Pending. That's the beauty about Harmony One, though. Everything recovers pretty nicely on the mainnet. Deposit went through this time. Okay, now my total liquidity tokens is 1278. Now, if I go to Quest, you can see how fast this increases. This unclaimed loot will just keep going up like super fast. And if we go to my loot tokens now I have 1,154, and the prices went down a little bit, but that's okay. So if I go 1154.77 times 0.7456, oh, so technically I'm in profit on my $800 investment after 36 hours. And I can still withdraw pretty much everything. Did I withdraw unwittingly? I didn't. I thought I needed to confirm. No, I didn't. Good. Whew, I didn't want to withdraw now. But okay, good. Now, like I said, I invested about 8,000 Harmony One tokens. So that meant my split was about 4,000 and some change for Harmony One tokens, and then the balance in loot tokens that I purchased with, because it's a 50-50 split. But now there is some impermanent loss, meaning that, you know, to balance out the liquidity, sometimes your loot tokens will increase, and sometimes that will drive down the number of pooled one tokens you have, and sometimes the one tokens will increase, and that will drive down slightly the number of loot tokens you have staked. But the important thing is this here, the liquidity, the LP tokens. Now, if you do withdraw those, you can transfer all the loot. And once you withdraw and confirm, and like you see there, I do have a 2% penalty right now because I've only held for like 36 hours. But, and I'm not going to do that anyway. But after 5 days, that will drop to a 1% and so on and so forth, like we covered in that schedule, which we'll look at again in a minute. But the returns right now are crazy high. Now, do I recommend you do this? That's up to you. If you got some extra Harmony One and you don't mind, perhaps, maybe, potentially, uh, I I feel pretty good about the project. The dev team seems to be pretty open and transparent. They seem pretty good, and they're real uh, responsive on their Twitter and Telegram and Discord. They do have a Discord group also, LootSwap. So they are real responsive, and they've done a couple of community vote initiatives. They want to add some new pools, and that's fine. And you know, if you're a little bit more risk adverse, you know, you might want to consider going into one of these other pools. They're not quite as risky. Now, you will only be paid out in loot tokens, so there's that. And they don't pay out near as fast. Of the 256 loot that are created and distributed per block, 220 of those, or 86.21%, go to the Loot 1 pool. And then the rest of them are split up among the other 4 pools in the DEX. And they get like 3.5% of the allocation per block, which is pretty small. But their APRs are pretty good. You know, 6,000%, 5,000, 4,000% is nothing to sneeze at. But that 41,000% for now is insane. Like I said, in a couple of days, that blocks, the emission rate will cut in half. So instead of 256 loot per block, that will go down to 128. And that will last for a week, but still 128 is really crazy. That's still very high. So you're still likely to see like 20,000, 25,000 plus APR. Um, the secret, if you want to do this, is to get in early and just get as many of these loot tokens in your lock balance as possible. And if you want to, now I'm not going to reinvest any more into the actual mining pool. So what I'm going to do now is with my 5% that I can get access to whenever I claim, I'm going to start just buying back into one. And if things go well, I'll be able to recoup my $800 initial investment in Harmony One within 3 or 4 weeks, by my calculations. And my math's okay, so we'll see how that works out. But according to my calculations, I should be able to come close to, even if I don't withdraw anything, to getting my $800 worth of Harmony One back just from the 5%. That just goes to show you how much the entire yield farming experience can yield. Now, of course, this is all theoretical, but the 5% that you get right now, that's real. That's like can convert to Harmony One right away. Because now I've got 3, but then by tomorrow, the next day, I'll have several hundred Harmony One again. Because that's just how fast these things are going up. Meta said this one. It wasn't a rug. I'm sorry, I haven't been paying attention. Can you do it on a mobile phone? I don't know. I don't know. I really don't know. But the even if you got like $100 or $200, something that's you can afford to play with, you can earn some crazy returns. Because like I said, in 36 hours, if the price would have stayed at $1.50, then I'd already be up 2 times my investment in 36 hours. That's insane. But like everything else, uh, I'm not, a moon boy. If you guys follow me, you guys know that I'm not a moon boy. So I don't expect this price to. But if it goes down to 20 cents, who cares? If it goes down to Harmony's price of 10 cents, who cares? I really don't care. Um, by that time, it'll just be free money, pretty much. I mean, I may lose, 50 or $100 in Harmony One tokens when I withdraw from the impermanent loss. But okay, because I'm sure if nothing else, I can make $150 or $100 with the loot tokens if I don't make anything else. And that's just a worst case scenario. Best case scenario, I can make a few $1,000s and get all my Harmony One back. Now, this is just a site, up there. If you stop doing anything for a few seconds, it does kind of refresh and go back through its paces. So it'll come back up in a second. Yeah, it's not something like I said, I just wanted to throw it out there because it's the newest DEX. And a lot of people are, leaving Viper Swap and Open Swap and Mochi Swap. Now, yesterday, if you look here now, the total volume locked is 13.8 million and Viper is like 17.7. Yesterday, for a while, LootSwap had a total TVL a couple $1 million higher than Viper Swap. But, a lot of people got in and got out, There was some FUD already in the Telegram group about something. Somebody said something. You guys know how that works. I don't want to get too much into that. But as far as, is it a legit project? I think so. Am I 100% sure? No. I'm not going to tell you that. Should you invest? Maybe. If you got, like I said, if you guys follow me, you guys know that my Harmony One was paid for and cashed out a long time ago, so it's kind of free. So I really don't care. But you know, I realize everybody's not in that position. So, but still, yield farming is not for the faint of heart. But if you're a little more risk on type of investor, you can make some serious money with yield farming. And that's where the big money in crypto is right now, especially in this kind of market when everything's just up and down and not really doing anything. You're not really making too much money, probably not really losing too much money. You're probably just hodling. Well, this is just another way to hodl, if you will, except be prepared to lose like about 5 or 10% in impermanent loss, which when you actually withdraw becomes permanent loss. Are all these projects based on the same thing though? Yeah, they very much. In fact, LootSwap is a fork of ViperSwap, and ViperSwap was a fork of BAO. You know, so they're all kind of similar. So they all basically, you know, people get in, they use some of the tokens for something, then they repay them. So basically, everybody's just making money on the exchanges and the governance and fees. Because the fees can be really big, especially when people get in, perform a couple of transactions, and get out. Their fees are pretty high. So, you know, but you got to realize that, like I said, now I do like the way they do it. Like they're similar to ViperSwap. They hold their lockup period 95% until December 25, meaning nobody can really dump too fast. And then the distribution schedule after Christmas, like I said, they will only like slow drip 1/4% of your lock tokens per day. So it's not like you're going to wake up on December 26th and have, you know, 100,000 loot tokens available to swap into Harmony One right away. It don't work that way. But once you start getting your drips, if you will, there's a good chance you could have some really, really good residual income for that next year. So, you know, it's possible that if you invest, you don't have to invest thousands and thousands of dollars. Even with, you know, roughly now I probably have total, including the tokens I've reinvested, I probably have what, $950 worth of Harmony One invested. But I only put real money like $800 worth of Harmony in. You know, with that $900 investment is a possibility. Now, of course, I could be wrong, but who knows? That after December, that for the next 12 months, I could probably realize, you know, $1,000 or $2,000 in real money, passive income, just from the slow drip over the next year, just with $800 invested. So that's the kind of returns you can get with yield farming. But like I said, it is risky. There are, you know, like I said, did my best to try to find out as much about this guy and his team as I can. But just like like ViperSwap, MochiSwap, OpenSwap, any of those swap, Uniswap, nobody knows who they are. They know handles on Twitter and on Telegram, but as far as who they are actually, nobody knows. But that doesn't mean, you know, that they're scams or they're automatically going to rug pull or whatever. Could they rug pull them? Sure, they could. So don't invest anything you can't afford to lose. But this is just an option. If you do have some Harmony One sitting there and you're just getting tired of it doing nothing, you know, just sitting there going up from 8 cents to 10 cents back to 8 cents or whatever, because I have no idea what Harmony is going to do in the short term. In fact, you know, I had made some predictions before all of this craziness when Bitcoin started that I thought Harmony would be $1 by the end of July. Um, I mean, of course, is that possible still? Yeah, maybe, but I don't know. I really don't. I have no idea. This market is insane right now. I mean, one man can tweet a picture of a broken heart and just destroy 3 days worth of gains. I really don't understand what's going on with these people. But as far as the market right now, I think we're in like a mid-cycle bear market, maybe like 2013. Do I think overall the complete bear market's done? No, I don't. But we're not in a bull market right this minute. I can tell you that. We're not in a bull market right this minute. I mean, because just look at this. Look at my watch lists. Oh, only Woo is up. Oh, okay, go. Woo, 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 woo. But it's still down overall. But everything else that I've bought or I'm into is like bloody, bloody, bloody. But not LootSwap. LootSwap are making money. Or on paper anyway. But anyway, if you guys got any questions, let's go ahead and do a little Q&A. My stock gains are better than crypto this week. Oh, I wouldn't doubt that. But like I said, you guys were here when I withdrew just a few minutes ago, and already I've got another 11 loot tokens just in those few minutes. So what's that, like $8? Oh, you can make some crazy money though, you know. Anyway, we're right at an hour. So nobody question? Nobody have any questions? I'll try to answer them. Like I said, I really don't have any good news or bad news on Harmony. Harmony's just hanging in there, you know, it's doing the best it can. Tomorrow, everything will probably be green again. And then the day after, who knows, red again. That's the way it's going. And that 11 is the 5%. No, 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 no. That 11 is all. So if I wanted to, now the 5%, it goes up. Well, now I've got like almost like half of a loot right now. It takes I haven't really, tried to time it or anything, but in a, I'd say in an hour, you probably get like 3 or 4 actually unlocked one or unlocked loot tokens, which still isn't bad, you know. So even that's like a couple of bucks an hour in unlocked tokens. Because this thing, because what now? How much do I have now? And it's roughly 36 hours now because I got in at 4 p.m. Thursday my time, and it's now 4 a.m. on Saturday. So Friday 4 p.m. will be 24, 36 hours. Let me refresh. So right now I have 1,154 that I've actually claimed, or 1,155 rather. So that's not bad. That's basically what, more than $800 worth of loot tokens in 36 hours. And if we can figure out how many unlocked I got. So that means over the last 36 hours, I've got like 62 unlocked loot tokens. So like about, what's that? So like $45 in actual loot tokens I can convert to Harmony One. So that's not bad at all. So you figure that's about what, $30 a day in actual spendable loot tokens that I can convert back to Harmony One right away. So that's not bad. What's that, $900 a month? Well, it won't be as high for the entire month, but figure that reduces by 50%. So, well, probably $350, $400 per month in Harmony One tokens. So in like 2 months, could probably get all my investment back. Yeah, not bad for just sitting and slipping. And then, like I said, most of your Harmony One you're going to get back when you withdraw. Depending on the price action. Now, if loot shoots back up to $1 or something, which it could, because like I said, it went down to 50 cents and now it's back up to 75 almost. But if it goes back up to $1, then that impermanent loss won't be very much at all. Probably just like 5% or so. Well, we have been online about an hour, and it's about 4 a.m. here, so I think I'm going to let you guys go. But I appreciate you stopping by, and sorry I've been away so long. I'll try to do another live stream soon, and if there's something to report on with Harmony One, I'll try to make another Harmony One video soon. I do miss doing those, but I've kind of been staying away from Harmony One videos intentionally because it's just so hard to read what the market's doing, because nobody knows. Everybody's just guessing. If anybody tells you what they know what Bitcoin's going to do or what Harmony One's going to do or anything else, they're just not being truthful with you, because the market is just sideways right now. I mean, look at this. The fear and greed index. This tells you everything you need to know. Yesterday is extreme fear. Today, this score was before Elon Musk. So in 4 hours, it'll update again, and I'm sure it'll be lower. But this tells you everything you need to know about the market right now. Fear. Everybody's scared. Nobody wants to put money in, except the whales. And of course, if you think like the whales, you'd be putting money in too, but most people don't. So there you go. But anyway, I'm gonna let you guys go. I appreciate you stopping by. If you haven't already, just please smash up that like button for me. If you're new here, please subscribe. But anyway, for now, this is Captain Crypto signing off. Stay blessed. Peace out. Bye bye.